Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Band of Badgers, and this, as always, is the Great British Brush Off. And myself and Steve. Hi Steve, how you doing, Steve?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. I'm just watching Twitch, so I'm 20 seconds behind. So I wasn't
I was
expecting
going to
that
say
question.
you're watching another channel.
Yeah,
Cheers for that. Watching something more interesting on Twitch.
I was watching a Marvel Zombie Side tutorial video. I apologise.
I was watching Glass Cannon before this anyway, so it's fine. Now, we are joined by two new painters. We haven't had them on as painting before. David Fierce, pro painter, actually pretty much a stone's throw away or half-hour drive.
Yeah,
Again, space-time continuum. Um, just down the road from me. How are you doing? How's been your week?
all good. Yeah, really good. Bit of a stressful evening, putting the boy to bed, but he's all settled down now. So I'm all yours for the duration.
That's good, and I like the way he said that. He's all mine. But you can find. I love saying Mr. Fisk only because Wilson Fisk. So Mr.
Oh
Fisk,
yeah,
you can find David Fisk on Instagram.com/Dungeons and Dry Gins, which is where I found him. Some of his stuff is I say some of his stuff. Everything he's done is absolutely excellent. One particular one is there's a red cloak, and he's got this kind of scribble writing. It is gorgeous. It is fantastic.
thank you so
Absolutely brilliant.
much.
And returning for more
And good effort
punishment.
on the shirt and tie as well, I have to say.
Oh, thank you. It's a
Yeah.
perpetual state of being for me. This is the most dressed down I get.
Dumped on his top button.
That's it. I'm relaxed now. I'm home.
Yep.
Actually, do you have a gin with you?
Not tonight. So
Not tonight. Okay.
because my darling wife is expecting, in solidarity to her, I'm off the drink as well.
Okay. Fair enough. Good to know. More for me.
Oh, indeed.
And Alan joining us again for more punishment. He is the other side of the planet. He's in Australia. He is so far round. He is already in tomorrow. How are you doing?
I'm great. I practiced getting up early yesterday for this stream.
You did. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. So all the flyers say Saturday, and I was like, yeah, Saturday, just be fine. It'd be fine. Then last night, which is Friday night for us here in the UK, I was doing a table game, the big finale of Frost Maiden, and yeah, and then messaged me saying, I'm up. No, I'm just having my breakfast.
Ready?
Ready to go. And I'm like,
Oh man.
Space-time
You would think
continuum
I would be
problem.
used to that by now, wouldn't you? Because it's not like I've only been here 5 minutes. I've been in Australia a while now, so you'd think I would know where I was. I mean, being upside down is enough.
Exactly, yeah. Anyway, absolutely love it. So again, thank you very much for coming back. We've got some. While he's here, for those of you who don't know, so Alan runs a company Type 40, which again we found out about. Does amazing kind of prop works, and it all started with a little blue box, as we know as the TARDIS, Doctor Who. Woohoo!
Yay.
But he's got a Kickstarter coming up soonish. Are we talking? Do we know what kind of date yet? Have we got a date?
We do, yes, December. It's going to come out in December, and we will announce the exact date that it launches soon, but it's going to be very Christmassy. So there you go.
Fantastic. So stay tuned for that. So we're going to show up some screens of this new kind of new project, and you can find that at there it goes, comes up on the screen, type40.com.au. So go and have a look at that, sort it out. You're going to love it. Well, as soon as the Kickstarter goes up, you make sure that you stick your name on it, because a reminder on it for when it goes live, because you are going to want to see this, especially if you're a Pathfinder fan like me. Anyway, so I'll get there at some point. As you all know, we are painting. That's why you're here. We are painting the dragons. Now the guys here have all got adult blue dragons. WizKids didn't send me one. I love you, WizKids. You didn't send me one. You sent me a bronze dragon, which is absolutely gorgeous. Now it is bronze. I don't care about color, so I am going to paint it red, which I started the other day with our friends at Turbo Talk. So we're going to paint this up. Steve, how you doing?
Yeah, I've
There he is.
you see that?
Yeah.
So I painted
Does look good.
the front blue last time, and I'm going to do the wings today.
Okay.
So
Blimey.
speed paints galore for me.
And Alan hasn't even taken out the box.
I thought we were doing an unboxing video. I thought it was one.
That'd be really good. Did I do an unboxing video? I didn't. I don't think I did. Let's do one. So he's going to take it out of the box. Right. It's when you find out it's like, I don't know, an owlbear in disguise. Yeah.
Just a stack of 40 kobolds.
in an overcoat.
Yeah, in a massive overcoat.
Yeah.
Kobolds
Just to labour the Australian point, when it arrived like this. So I had to.
And it's how many Australian puns can we get in, in today?
Shall we take it out? I was dead impressed with this.
It is.
Because I didn't know what to expect when I got it.
So
and when it arrived, I was like, wow, they were not messing around, were they?
While you're unpacking that, Mr. Fisk, how are you doing? Have you got your hands on your big blue dragon? That sounds so weird.
I haven't my enormous beast in hand. Yeah. Here's the. So I prime mine in black. I tend to have a slightly more desaturated style, so that kind of helps me out there. So I can kind of build up the color a little bit more. I also went for the extra credit, and I made him a nice big display base.
Wow.
Because
he's on his way for a
teacher's
gold
pet.
star.
Yeah. DM's pet.
That is absolutely fantastic. I love it. Right, so what we're going to do, so for those of you joining us live, thank you very much for joining. If you have questions for anyone around the table here, do shout out, do let them know, and let us know. We will put it up on screen, and we'll have a chat about that. Send us jokes. Send us stuff about, why am I big? I didn't even push any buttons. Send us stuff about Australia. We love it. Keep it coming. Anything you want to do, please do shout it out and put it on here. If you're painting at home, let us know what you're painting. Let us know if you have any painting tips and like questions for help and advice. Mr. Fisk is here on hand as our pro painter, and Alan was kind enough to say he's not a pro painter, but look at the gear he's got. Look at the setup. He's already got armies ready to paint. We've got some cool stuff that he's going to put up in front of the camera as well. But yeah, when we had the interview with Alan and we found out he also does some miniature painting, we wanted to get him on. So he is absolutely more than welcome. Hello to everyone in chat. Go ahead.
If you want to give us a couple of quid, Dave.
Yeah.
Then I can be a pro painter because then officially I've been paid. So.
Okay. That's fine.
That's the definition, I think.
I could do that. Who we got? So Kelly Rowe, Dragonborn Industries, MSO Karina, Sharkwood, Warrior Prince 3D. How you doing? Natural Ones UK. More UK people. Thank you very much for coming here. And Warrior Prince, because again, there's 10 seconds behind. Warrior Prince is currently painting the Karlak 1/6. I don't know what the 1/6 means.
It's a size, it's scale, 1/6 scale.
1/6 scale. Sweet. And the Karlak from Baldur's Gate 3.
That's awesome.
And who else we got? Dragonborn Industries says working on some lore for the Monday night game. Yes, fantastic. Okay, right. So as you know, we're going to put some music on in the background. It's just to chill out. If you're painting along with us, that's fantastic. Do stay there. Do keep painting. And I'm going to try and keep one eye on the comments while I'm going to be painting. Now, as you can see, here is my attempt at my dragon. It is a bronze dragon, but I am going to paint it red. Well, I am painting it red regardless. And this is the Turbo Dork paint, so I'm going to be doing some more of that. But my attack this time is I'm going to do the entire wing. I need to bring this up. It is so big. Look, there we go. Shoom. I am going to be doing the entire wing on both sides and one side of the body. That is my target for today. My camera just turned off. That's not great. So we're going to leave you with that. Oh,
hello. Nothing but menu.
Nothing but menu. So, Steve, while your camera's setting up.
Yeah, while my camera's setting up, it's in my hand because I just let the switch it back on again. There's a close-up shot. Yeah, so I'm going to do the wings. That's what I'm going to do tonight. So there'll be some speed paints. That's what I'm going to use.
I was just trying to
Go
find
for
you,
the-
Steve. There you are.
Cloudburst blue, civilian
Yeah.
focus. So plenty of that going on. And then what we're trying to do is pick out some reds in places, and then mix in some Crusader skin and yellow to fill in the middle sections.
Cool. Nice one.
So that's the idea. That's the general plan of attack.
I,
So I
I'm
did the
also-
front quarters last week.
I'm also going to be using army paints. What paints is everyone going to be using?
So I'm exclusively using Vallejo on this one,
Yeah.
just because I can go. I've got a good range of colours, and because I'm using the airbrush, they're
Oh, we've got an airbrush.
non-toxic.
Wow. You're the second person to use an airbrush.
This is gonna be
I'm
cool.
pleased. I'm in rarefied company.
I'm going to enjoy watching this. And Alan, you're going to go outside in the sunshine.
Yeah, I'm going to do something a bit different. I paint a lot of very large things with rattle cans.
Yeah.
And this is probably a bit small for that, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm going to spend a bit of time masking this off.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go outside where I do a bit of spraying, and we're going to try some experimental stuff on the dragon. So I'm going to mask off a lot of it, and then we're going to try and do some shading with a couple of different cans of Montana spray paint, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
But then also I've got another something that I want to try on the underneath of the wings, which is a crackle spray paint.
Nice.
In a white, which I'll put over the top of a ghost grey and a very light blue. And it could be that between this week and next week, I'm stripping the whole thing back and we start again next week. But I'm going to give it a go anyway. I think it'll be really interesting.
Cool.
So I'm just going to start masking it off.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go outside eventually.
No problemo. Right, we already have some questions, which I saw. I've lost them now. But there's one. Right. Warrior Prince, he says, what's people's approach when it comes to dragon wings? I'm thinking paint. That's about as much as I've got today. Look, we're 15 minutes in. I've not even started painting yet. That's a new one.
I like a nice ombre.
Nice. Yeah, what I tend to do is over highlight a little bit, and then sort of you can fade towards the edges a little more, and it gives you that kind of almost like a translucent look. But the airbrush helps, but you can do it with large dry brushes as well, for sure. How about you guys?
I like an ombre. I like to try and shade from the darker areas where I think that the muscles would pull in, and where all of the skin would get kind of darker, and then as it moves out towards the thinner areas to try and make it a bit lighter. I'm a massive fan of contrast paint because I paint for tabletop, and if I can get it out on the board quick, that's a win for me.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I'm not. So the story about me is I've only ever painted on stream. I've never really painted before, and I don't really do that much off stream. I might finish some bits off every now and then, but since I've got my hands on the Army Painter speed paints, I love them. They've been so good because it does a lot of the work for me, and my stuff is very, very much for tabletop.
I tell you what, Dave and David, I say that I paint fast for tabletop because I like to get it on the board quick. that's because I'm not a very good painter. I can't do what David does. So it makes me sound better if I'm fit. Oh yeah, just getting it on the table.
So again, if you, for those of you watching, if you go and check out David's Instagram, instagram.com Dungeons and Dry Gins. He has some amazing work. I can't push the button right now because I'm painting, but he does have amazing work for you to view. There might be something in Twitch chat as well. I'm not sure if the bot is set up, but there is something there.
Yeah, he's in
there you
Twitch chat.
Thank you very much, Steve. And again, amazing work. Dave, have you? I'll keep calling you David just in case I get.
That's fine. If it's you saying it, I know who's talking to me.
Have you ever done any competitive work, like competitions and entered? Yeah?
Sure. Yeah. So that's one of my weird ways of funding this hobby. Is I do a lot of online competitions, but I've done some other bits and bobs. So I've done some. I'm predominantly online because I got really kind of I got a lot more practice in over lockdown.
Yeah.
So that was when I got my chops up quite a bit. But yeah, just do some little bits and bobs. The guys over at Culture Paint, I don't know if you know their tutorials from YouTube. They ran a painting competition a couple of years ago, and I was lucky enough to get gold in that. And that was a very, very hotly contested thing. Actually, the red chap that you mentioned earlier. Sorry, if you hear the noise in the background, that's my compressor.
No, I can't hear it.
Oh, good.
For some reason, your Instagram just kept coming up and going away. Look, it's doing it again.
Oh, weird. Hey, it's all good promo. You know.
Is your mouse stuck on a button or something?
No, it's my keyboard is going absolutely mental, and I think what it is because it's next to the laptop over on that side of the table. So the magnet in it is doing something. So I've switched it off now. So don't ask me to type anything.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, the chap in the robes, that was for an online competition run by My Mini Factory, and that was quite quite a big one. That was only a couple of months ago, and I was very fortunate to take first place in that as well, and got they sent me a lovely new 3D printer. So that's going to make my D&D games exponentially more terrifying.
Was you 3D printing before that?
No, never touched one before. No, I'm a bit of a Luddite, as you guys found out the hard way. But it's a really interesting learning curve. It's quite tricky. It's quite a difficult thing to get right, but when it works, it's fabulous.
If you need any help, Warrior Prince, who's joining us live there in chat, he's also local-ish to us. He comes up to Reigate every now and then. So he's between. He's around. He also comes to the BadgerCon.
Very good.
And are you planning to go to Dragon Meet? Did we talk about that before?
That I will have to figure it out. Having a little one can throw a spanner in the works sometimes, but I'm always try and be available. I will have to look into it.
Well, that's on Saturday, the 2nd of December, so we're a couple of weeks away. But we're all planning a trip to go to Dragon Meet, so we'll all be there.
Okay, I'll do my best because it looks good.
If baby number two has turned up by then, the UK Games Expo next year, Alan will also be there. He's going to come over from Australia.
Oh, no way!
Over to the UK.
Yeah, we've got space at the expo, and we're going to come over we're actually coming over for a month because obviously I have family there.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I want to go to the expo, so I was like, I could either get a ticket or I could buy a booth. So I don't like queuing, and you get an exhibitor's ticket. So I bought a booth, and we're gonna come over.
Fantastic. Well, we will definitely buy you a cup of tea and a custard cream.
Oh yeah, ovens.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it. Actually, I love going to the conventions, and this is one I've never been to. Strangely enough.
Yeah, it's been getting bigger and better.
Okay, I'm done. Blue Dragon.
It's a blue dragon.
Can't argue with that.
What are you messing about at, you people?
I love it. I wish I could have thought of that joke.
I told you. I told you I was not a good painter. So there you go. Anyway, I'm just going to finish masking it. Then I'm going to pop outside. We may lose sound because I've got the other sound muted, and I don't want to mess with things when they're working.
No problem.
But we also may lose vision. However, what I intend to do is I'm going to spray up the bottom of these in one colour and try a little experimental spray paint that I've used before, which gives a crackle effect. You can buy them in the little droppers and things like that. You know, there's lots of them. But I've basically got it on an industrial scale, and we're going to try that. And then also we're going to try spraying this up as well on the other side. And I might just cut out a little bit of this paper just for a bit of a fade, and we'll see how we go. Anyway,
Fantastic.
we'll see what happens.
Right, we've got. I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments. Sorry, people, I've been missing out. I've been trying to paint.
There's quite a few comments about the size of your brush.
Excuse me. What was that? My brush.
Can we just look at the comparison here between what David Fisk is doing and what I'm doing? Can we just look at that work that he's doing?
Dragon
Check out the brush that I'm going to use.
I think that would get past chat actually. I think the general disdain with your brush size, Dave, it was a bit on the small side.
Well, it's the only one I got. It's the biggest. Look,
it's the biggest one you've got, yeah.
It's where I don't know where I am on the camera. There I am. Look, it's the biggest one I got. It's the let's plug Army Painter. Army Painter. It's the regiment brush. It's the biggest brush I got. If anyone knows of a brush stockist who wants to sponsor Band of Badgers,
for the size of that many B&Qs.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I'm actually worried I might run out of paint. We'll see how we go.
We're going to go for a little walk into the future. I may or may not pass through the games room.
Well, okay, go for it.
Do I need to linger there, or should we just run through?
Whatever you want to do, you can tease as many things as you want. If you might not be able to hear me, but I'm going to make you big screen. So let's go boom. There we go.
All right, so it still works. Let's fly the dragon.
Oh, here we look at this. Flying the dragon through Australia. There we go. There's a cat. There's the game. Look at the games room, people. Look at this. He's got lightsabers. So Alan, he's got the Pathfinders. He's got the prototypes. That is amazing. Let's have some more. There we go. Oh, not me. There we go. Back to Australia. Yeah, the Pathfinder prototypes. Wow. Oh, he's got his garage, look. Is that a zombie sign? I think it is.
Yeah, it was a zombie sign.
For those of you in the UK, it's a nice sunny day tomorrow. Because he's already in Australia. Sunday morning, and he's doing this with us. What a guy. We can't hear him. We can't. I don't know if he can hear us. Alan, if you can hear us, nod with the dragon. I don't think he can. Look at all he's got. Look at this stuff. This is amazing. I'm not even painting. Look. I'm just watching everything he's doing. We're going to get a lot of comments. So if you have comments about what Alan's doing over in Australia, do let us know.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you
can
now,
now, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Can you
All
hear
right.
us?
So this is blasphemy. This is going to be absolute blasphemy. But we'll see how it goes. Okay. What we're going to do? We're going to take some of this black, and I'm going to spray it kind of in this recess,
Yeah.
and then fade it out until it gets to the white, and then we're going to spray the blue over it. David knows what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put my camera away over here. See if you, so I don't spray my camera.
Yeah.
See how we can do that. This will do. There we go.
He's even prepping the can. That's something I never do. Oh, wow. Yep.
They might look different, but they're not. I mean, they are.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Cool.
We'll go with that one.
I'm watching intently now at Alan's skills here. I'm trying to pick up the technique. I've never actually seen someone spray. I've seen the airbrush. That's why it seems to be very delicate. Like what David's doing, as you can see in the little window. What Alan's doing, I've never seen. So this is like, apart from people graffiti on the wall. After Alan's finished his blue dragon, we're gonna cut over to see what Mr. Fisk is doing, because I'm watching the two at work, and it is amazing. At this rate, my paint is going to dry. Oh, we're getting closer.
There you go. How's that?
It's all right.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
That'll
that
do,
looks
won't it?
amazing.
We'll be able to pick out a little bit of detail on that with brushes and stuff later.
That looks
I think
amazing.
I've gone a bit dark in here, so I'm just going to give that a hit. So what dragon are we painting next week?
I'm still painting the same one.
Right.
You have to do his belly. Right, here you go. Go back to the games room. Again, if you have any comments for the painters, do let us know. I saw for the geek who's there, I just saw the Fifth Element. Yeah, Alan knows. There we go. See, just on the passing, I love Fifth Element. Great film. Oh, feedback. Boom. I'll just mute that for you. There we go. Right, that was amazing, Alan. Thank you very much for doing that, for sharing that.
It was interesting. I'm going to have to leave it to dry for a bit because it stinks and
Yes.
it just needs to go off a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Which means...
Oh, that was one of my questions, is how contained is that smell?
It's why it's outside. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I now have a blue hand, which is fine. Those paints that I use for Montana, they're all really good. They're really sort of water-based. Much better than using some of the acrylics and whatnot. And they dry really well, and they come out really well. They've got a really good propellant. They're super matte as well. I absolutely love using them.
Cool. That's I mean, it looked amazing, and thank you for the kind of quick tour as well of everything
sorry.
going on there.
I don't know if it's going to come out any good. I just wanted to give it a go. I really want to try it.
Yeah, well, you're definitely you're the first and the bravest person to attempt that, and that looks amazing.
Yeah, well, you know, why not? It could have gone horribly wrong. Could have looked terrible. I think it looks okay. And the next big experiment will be the crackle paint on the back.
Yep.
And that could also go terribly wrong, but we'll see. Well, I'm going to take a little hint from what David did, and I'm going to try and make a base.
Cool. You crack on with that.
I've got loads of little.
And we're gonna catch up with David now. So, David, over to you. How are you getting on? It looks incredible.
Thank you. I'm sure the lighting isn't great from that angle, but yeah, my plan here is to give it a bit of an undertone of this violet purple kind of color. So we're going to keep the whole palette quite cold, and I'm going to layer up turquoise over the top, so it kind of mixes into a blue as we go up through the highlights. So that's the idea, at least. But I managed to get the whole thing covered in purple in very little time, so we're doing okay. We're trucking.
Good. So how long have you been using the airbrush?
Only a couple of years. So again, it was. I guess it was.
It's one of those toys I've not yet played with.
It's a really useful one for, actually, to be fair, all kinds of painters. You know, there's you can definitely use it for getting stuff quickly on the table, which is kind of the idea here. I'm just trying to build that contrast quite quickly. But you can also do really refined work with it, and you know, some of those some people out there are doing extraordinary work with airbrushes that, yeah, completely justify their existence. But I am a mere mortal, and I'm really just kind of put down a couple of coats and then kind of go in with the brush afterwards and make it look pretty, and try and cover my mistakes. But yeah, it's so useful, and especially even if you use things like speed paints through an airbrush, they look amazing.
Yeah. Oh, so you can actually use speed paints in your airbrush.
Yeah, so
I didn't know you could do that.
because they're quite thin, they just sort of glaze color over the top.
Yeah.
And they sort of hold together a little bit better than just watering down paint a lot. Obviously you can get opaque paint and then just thin it loads, but it's not going to be the same as something that's already thin but has a good consistency. So it's great for glazing color.
Gotcha. Okay. So how
long have you been painting, David?
Crikey.
When did you start painting?
I started in about sort of 1998, around that time. So I was a bit of an old school Warhammer head at the time.
Yeah.
And then life gets in the way. Went to college and university and that kind of thing, and kind of dropped out of it, and then started taking it a bit more seriously in around 2019, and really started just trying to improve my painting in a realistic sense, and it's come on leaps and bounds since then. Just YouTube helps. There was no YouTube in 1998.
There was very little there, actually. I agree.
Yeah.
I wasn't into painting, but I think YouTube is just a fantastic source of inspiration and teaching different skills that you can just pick up very, very quickly. Because I mean, again, you had Games Workshop, but unless you were there or had friends who you're also going to be painting with, you really didn't have much else out there. The magazines were quite poor.
Yeah, I mean most of my early sort of painting education came from the White Dwarf magazine, when they occasionally had good painting articles, and thus started a love affair with non-metallic metals, which is how I paint the majority of my miniatures. I say the majority, all but one in the last 2 or 3 years. Yeah, so that was a bit of an eye opener, and I don't think I wouldn't have come across that had it not been for Darren Latham's Sanguinor tutorial.
Yeah,
that is that non-metal stuff, David, is wizardry to me.
It's such a fun challenge, but it's not a small amount of work, unfortunately. Yeah, but it's so much fun. It's a really interesting challenge, and there's a bit of friendly competition on one of my Discord groups of people trying to sort of one up their non-metallics, and that's good. It helps have a bit of friendly competition.
cool, good. Steve, how are you getting on? Can't hear you, Steve, if you're talking, and no, I'm not looking because I'm painting.
Yeah, I'm just laying down the blue fingers roughly before I start plucking wings out.
Let's have a look at you. Let's make you big. Okay, there you are. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So just lining the fingers, or whatever you want to call them. No idea. And then we'll do the other side. But yeah, then I'll start layering up the skin in the middle.
Yeah.
It's just covering a big area. That's the challenge. Covering a big area quickly with a brush.
Let's have a look. See what questions we might have. Let's have a look. Boom, boom, boom. So, something we had in earlier. Sakarim. I got pinged in Richard's Discord, so here I am. Thank you for joining us.
Hey,
Sakarim.
nice to see you.
Kelly Rowe. There goes Dave, base coat and a dragon wing with a regiment brush. Fills me with anxiety. I've got to work with the tools that I've got. That's how we play on this one. You can see some of the probably done a little bit too much paint because it's pooling in some areas. I'm going to try and spread that a little bit. The Natural Ones UK going to probably do a one-shot soon. They were talking, the audience have been chatting amongst themselves about different campaigns. Natural Ones UK going to probably do a one-shot soon, which I might ask Dave to join me for if he's available. Ooh, tell me more. Tell me more. I would like to know. Yeah. Always happy to. And what we got here? Dragonborn Industries at Warrior Prince 3D for the win. For the win and help for 3D printing needs. Yeah, Warrior Prince has been great. I mean, again, meeting Richard and him being able to help out the badges as well. The club itself gets a discount with him. I think they bought quite a lot from him as well.
I must say, natural ones. I did subject them to a. I believe that's their username. I subjected them to a one-shot recently. It was very bizarre. So I feel like they're out for blood now.
Well, it depends which Dave they were talking about then. So it's
quite,
probably Dave
all the above. I think I think we should have an oops all Daves one shot.
No.
I think we should. And all their characters are going to be called Dave as well.
Oh my god! Could you imagine? And they all work in pubs or something.
What, Dave?
If it's a total party, kill, you could just play Holly from Red Dwarf saying they're all dead, Dave. Everybody's dead.
All dead, Dave. So, Alan, when did you... I think we covered it in the interview, but I'm going to ask you again anyway. When did you move to Australia?
It'll be 22 years next April.
Wow. What was that for? If I'm allowed to ask.
Just a laugh, you know?
Yeah, and then stayed?
And then stayed. No, I moved out here to get married.
And then stayed.
And then stayed, yeah.
And then stayed.
And then stayed. I did a year doing that working holiday thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it was pretty cool. So I also met somebody, and then we decided we were going to get married and stay.
Well done. Australia. I've not yet been to Australia. But on my bucket list is I don't know why. Maybe it's one of those British things, but I would like to have Christmas dinner on the beach in Australia.
I think that's a worthy ambition.
Have you ever done it?
No.
There you go.
It is far too hot. Yeah. different affair, Christmas over here, though. It's always warm and, you know, it's quite a different affair.
Do they? Other than watching Neighbours, I've not seen much Australian TV. I'm not sure if you can call Neighbours Australian TV though. But
It's like calling Foster's an Australian beer.
yeah, the at Christmas, do they put fake snow everywhere and snowmen?
Yeah, it's Christmassy, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh right, okay.
So everything's decorated, everything's Christmassy as you would expect. It's just 35 degrees heat. So
That sounds like indoors weather.
It really is. Yeah, so it's traditional Christmas stuff. Everyone loves that, but it's just hot. I'm just going to go and get some basing material.
Okay. Steve and Dave, how are you getting on?
Yeah, good. I've got a bit of blue going on now, so it's looking a bit more appropriately blue dragony. But I'm just going to fill in the wing membranes a bit now. Try and get some colour on those. I'm sort of determined to get paint on all of it in the duration. Try and get as much done as possible.
Because you're going up through sort of the same colour palette. Are you cleaning your airbrush every time you put new paint in, or are you just layering?
No, just layering it up. Having a little bit of the previous color in the cup just helps with the blend a little bit. So, and also I'm incredibly lazy. But you know, obviously artistic reasons.
I prefer the word efficient.
I'll take it. Yeah, I'm just being efficient.
Yeah.
I love Alan's idea of basing supplies. He's coming back with a tub of polyfiller.
Oh mate, everything I do is industrial. It's just I'm not subtle about this at all. I don't know if I've mentioned, but I'm a carpenter by trade. So I'm just using leftover bits.
Right. So, who we got going on? We've got a random promoter there. So for those of you in chat, if you again keep the questions coming. If you have questions about anything, tell us some jokes. I don't mind. If you're painting, tell us what you're painting. Shout out whatever you wish. And always go check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/bandofbadgers. Please do like and subscribe. And that's it really. Like and subscribe. That's all you can do on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and watch the videos. We're trying to hit our next target of 1100. And if you can help us do that, that would be mighty fine of you. And we will be heading to Dragon Meet on Saturday the 2nd December. If you're in the UK at that weekend and you want to come and meet us in person, we're not doing anything. Well, we are doing stuff. We're going to be checking out the shops. We're going to be running some games. We're going to be doing some interviews. So if you want to say hi, we are already planning our campaigns for the new year. We've got some very fun new shows coming up. So do check out. We don't just do mini painting. For those of you who don't know who the hell are these Band of Badgers guys, we don't just do mini painting. We do live campaigns. There's BadgerCon, which is a giant barbecue, which we do. We do interviews with creators all around the world. For example, Alan in Australia with his company. We work with Beadle and Grimm's. We do an awful lot of work with them, bits and pieces. So we do table games as well. Loads of things. Loads unboxing videos, game videos. We've got some new stuff coming up next year where we're going to be writing some stories next year as well for some of our friends in the TTRPG industry. Mostly people in the States. We've got some more Epic Encounters and Steamforged games coming in December. And of course we've got our Christmas party in December as well. And invites for that will be going out whenever I get time to do them. Kelly Rowe was shouting out when we were talking about Christmas in Australia. He's based in the States, and he says that's not just a British thing about wanting Christmas in Australia.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I hear a lot of people say. And then having your Christmas dinner on a beach on Christmas Day, kind of cool. Lots of people do it. Everybody flocks to the beach, but it is boiling hot.
Yeah. Steve's gone quiet, so I'm going to pick on Steve now. Steve, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm now doing skin, so concentrating. Yeah.
If you have a question for
Cold
Steve
blade.
to distract him, please do share it in chat.
Just hit a bit of blue paint that wasn't dry. Pulled it all the way across the skin area. I was just doing in yellow, so that's a lovely effect.
Cool. We've got more from Kelly Rowe there. He says I live in the Enchanted Mitten, which is Michigan. Boarding hot for Christmas would be a welcome change of pace.
Yeah.
Well done. The Enchanted Mitten.
So I've tried to do this base, and I've just stuck bits on it,
Oh,
and
wow.
we'll see how that dries.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's great.
The time it took you to do that looks really good. It was about 2 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's got to dry, and then I'll just put another coat of PVA glue over the top of it to solidify it.
Yeah.
And then stick some bits on it, and we're done.
That looks really good.
Fantastic.
So good.
I'm gonna put some skulls on it. Actually,
Gotta have skulls.
you can't have skulls, haven't you?
It's the law. It's miniature painting. You've got to have skulls everywhere. Don't you know?
Skulls. How are we gonna do this?
Speaking of skulls, Dragon Skull Studio says, I would prefer no snow at Christmas.
I have also realised the more details I put on bases, the more I've got to paint.
For those of you who are listening to the music, we have the Enchanted Elven Forest playing in the background. They are the top 10 of the painting concentration charts. Something that just plays in the background.
So David, you were saying earlier you put somebody through a one shot recently. What's your normal game? Is it D&D or something else?
Yeah, so we play 5e as a group. So my one shot was a very strange one. It was a sort of Wild West eldritch horror kind of. Well, it was very inspired by the White Vault. That's the guys who do Dark Dice. So they have an audio drama series called The White Vault, which I highly recommend. It's absolutely wonderful. And yeah, I kind of riffed off that but set it in the Wild West using 5e rules, which was very fun and not as combat heavy as 5e likes to be, but it still worked out all right. I like to think. He says, looking at his wife, giving my wife the side eye to see if I get any confirmation. I get a limp thumbs up. I'll take it. She's tired. A lot of work having a baby. But yeah, normally we play 5e once a week, and we got 2 games. So yeah, I've got a Valor Bard in one game. My sort of the character I play the most is my Hexblade Warlock, which is always fun.
Nice. I do like Warlock.
Oh man, I'd only ever played the Bard before, and then I changed to Warlock, and I went, oh my god, I can do so much damage. This is insane. It's a complete sea change for the character you're playing. And he's not made of polystyrene like my Bard is.
Are you playing a campaign?
So we're playing through Tomb of Annihilation at the moment, which is a bit stressful. It's a really stressful module because death is permanent. And that's quite a scary state of being.
Yeah.
Plus, we have no cleric in the party. Yeah. So our Bard is the healer, and our ranger. My wife just reminded me that she, as a ranger, ends up doing a lot of healing as well. So most of the healing, yes.
David, Tomb of Annihilation. You said death is permanent. There is that a feature of that campaign?
Yeah, so there's essentially the central conceit of the game is that a curse has blighted the land, and whenever people die, they cannot be resurrected
Right.
by magic. So obviously, a number of people are trying to. Some people like that. Some people are like, "Hey, this is a fantastic new status quo," but enough people are objecting to it that they're willing to pay top dollar to end the curse. And who am I to turn that down?
Yeah, we did Tomb of Annihilation as a live stream.
Oh yeah.
And Joe, who's one of our badgers, he was the DM. I got to play for a change, which is nice.
Oh, nice.
I was a turtle druid with a Scouse accent.
I've got to hear your Scouse accent now.
It's really bad, and it travels all around the UK as well. So
and Ireland. Several times you got on the ferry and ended up in Dublin.
And then sometimes all the way to Jamaica.
I'm
just going to go and check out the dragon.
What was that, Alan?
Just going to go and check out the dragon.
Are we going on another tour?
This will be a quicker one.
Okay. So my turtle, he was talking like this, like in every time he has a gets into a little mishap, you know. He's like, "Hey, you're talking to me. Don't you throw those fireballs at me, mate. I love you." But it was a bit more of a peace-loving turtle.
As befits a druid, I feel.
Yes.
But no, I am married to a Scouser, proud Scouser, so I shan't speak ill. Not that I would want to, anyway. My first
Can she hear
experience
me?
in. No, that's fine. My first. No, you're in the clear. She'll find you. You're not far away.
Exactly. That's what I'm worried about. They'll be like, she'll come after me. But now if she's still in the same room as you, you just gone, yeah, I'm married to a Scouse. I'm still in trouble.
Yeah, she's all good. She yeah. She's heard my attempt at a Scouse accent, so no one's going to be worse. No, she's from the posh bit of Liverpool, so she doesn't really have the accent. But no, it just reminds me of the first time I ever went to Liverpool, stepped out of the train station, right into the centre of town, and some chap walked past me, and he just kind of pointed at me and just went, "Hey, cracking tosh there, mate." I was like, "Oh, great! I like it here. This is fabulous. You guys are lovely."
See, that was a good accent. That's better than mine.
Well, I've been practicing.
That's a cracking tash there, mate.
That's good. It's good enough for me. I can hear that. We're gonna have to hear everyone's Australian accents by the end as well.
Alan's been there 20 years. He still hasn't got one.
No, right?
You just can't take the UK out of some people.
No.
Well, I'm quite impressed. It is 5 minutes past the top of the first hour, and I'm going to zoom out a bit. I'll lift my camera up if it stays there. But yeah, take a look at this. This is one whole wing.
Whoa!
And by hand, by brush. That's the size. Boom. And I did the reverse as well.
I never.
So yeah, I am nearly out of paint, which is a problem. But my plan. So this wing has a lot of battle damage. So my plan now is to see if I can enhance those bits, and maybe the you can see, I don't know what they're called. They're kind of like the spines or something, the ribs of the wing. I'm gonna do those in a different color. Go over the top of those when that's dry. But it is beautiful when it's in color. And so nice that again, speed paints picks out all that detail, the texture of that kind of the skin of the wing, the leather of the wing. It's amazing. Well done, WizKids. And by the way, you can find all of these at shop.wizkids.com. But they've got a sale on at the moment. Some of their stuff is 50% off, and if you've never bought from WizKids before, if you've never had an account, you can get an extra 10% off. So there's 60% off a incredible range of minis. So do go check them out. It's worth it. I don't know if that's part of their Black Friday kind of sale stuff, but 60% off is well worth doing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Really, really pleased. I might. Do I do the other wing? I don't know. I might do his body. Right. Now, on your tour around your place, Alan, I spotted on your shelf, on your black bookcase TV shelf, you had your Pathfinder prototypes, which looked amazing. Do you want to kind of, what's an update on those? Is there anything new with those?
There is actually, yes. Let me get one. Hang on.
Okay. You might like this, Dave. These, if you haven't seen these before, and if Dave, have you played Pathfinder?
I've not, no, actually.
Okay, so there's a thing in Pathfinder where you get yeah, let's put it on screen, where you get this thing that Alan has made. Let's put this full screen.
So that's the prototype Wayfinder from the Pathfinder Society in Paizo's Pathfinder. We were lucky enough to work with them to collaborate making this, and designed it based on a lot of the concept illustrations and artwork in the Pathfinder books. And we have had a bunch of prototypes made, which we took to Gen Con. And the idea is that we're going to run the Kickstarter. That'll launch in December at some point. And all being well, these will be in the hands of Pathfinder Society players first quarter next year.
Wow, look at that. That is beautiful.
Wow.
That really is beautiful.
Prototyping is a thing that we do just to iron out any of the kinks and come to the final product. This is fairly close. Obviously, the prototype's going to have some tweaks on it, but we're keeping a lot of the major features that we did while at the same time making sure it's still accessible cost-wise to people so that everyone can have one.
Yeah.
And we've done away with a couple of the features that weren't really working, but we've kept a majority of what has made the Pathfinder compass the Pathfinder compass. And one of them obviously is it's a compass and it works. You can see it bobbing away, pointing to north.
Yeah.
I can confirm that's correct. And also it's got a rotary bezel on it.
Yeah.
And that has all of the zodiac signs from Galarian on and around it. Little enamel, blue enamel, midnight sky kind of speckled with lots and lots of little stars. And then on the base is the glyph of the open road.
Yep.
Which is a beautiful symbol that's come up really well. We're very pleased with that. We didn't change anything about that at all.
That's come out really good.
And then, of course, you've got to have an Aeon Stone inside your Wayfinder to give you the magical abilities. And we're going to make these interchangeable so you can take them out. And again, just pull that one out. There you go.
That is brilliant.
The idea is that every compass will come with one. And if we reach a certain stretch goal, we'll be able to add an add-on to the campaign where people will be able to buy a little pack of extras. There you go.
It is looking superb.
Honestly, it's so nice. I'm so pleased with it.
But it looks bigger than what I thought it was going to be as well. I mean, we've seen the photos and we see, examples of it, but it looks so nice.
Yeah, very happy with the way that's come out.
Yeah.
And obviously there'll be some tiny changes to the final product that we've made tweaks for. But we're super happy with it. It's going to be really cool. We've got a pre-launch page up on Kickstarter at the moment. If anyone wants to jump on and sign up for it, I can send you the link, Dave.
Yep.
I think we're just shy of 1,000 people at the moment. Yeah, there you go.
Cool. Yeah, that is amazing.
I'm stuck. My dragon's drying outside and my base is drying. I'm going to paint an ogre.
Go for it. Go for it. Somehow my fingers have found some red paint somewhere. I don't know where I've picked it up from. Well, I know where, but I don't know where. Oh, there. Okay. I'll fix that now.
So me and some friends have been playing Warhammer 6th edition Fantasy, and because we're old school, and we've all made little armies up. We started at 500 points and added 500 points per game.
Yeah.
We're up to the 2,000 point mark, and we're just painting up to get to 2,500. And I've got this ogre army that I built, which I wanted to. If you're familiar with the Warhammer world, I wanted it to feel like they were ogre mercenaries that had lived in the Warhammer Empire and taken on some of the civilized ways of the Empire, but hadn't quite got there. They're all wearing various painted colours on their trousers to give them unit identification.
Yeah.
And I did a thing that I really liked with the banners, which is basically just I took pictures of, you can't really see it, I took pictures of medieval art.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I created, like water transfers? You can buy printable water transfers.
Yeah.
I just created water transfers and then transferred the one because I've no way I would be able to paint that.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, it worked really well. Romantic ogres.
I've just seen what Mr. Fisk was doing there. That is looking incredible.
Jesus.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Yeah, just doing this little fade of a fleshy color underneath. Just, but still trying to keep it a little bit cool. Well, desaturated enough that it reads as being cool. This is what the airbrush does best.
So here's an airbrush related. It's a question for you and Alan. So Alan was using the spray cans and obviously in a ventilated area, basically his garage because he's got a giant big door. What's it like using the airbrush? Because you're not wearing a mask, are you next to a window, but then it's nighttime and too cold here?
In theory, you should paint with a bit more ventilation than I am, but fortunately there are no aerosols or anything involved. I'm not even using thinner. It's literally just acrylic paint and water. And frankly, when I'm painting by brush, I consume enough acrylic paint anyway. I tend not to worry too much. And also, I feel like for the chat, I'd rather not wear the mask too much. If I switch to using thinner, I would put the mask on because it's pretty nasty stuff. But no, generally you can get away with it. I say that now. I might feel horrendous later, but I'm sure I'll be fine.
We have to shout out, hello, Tom Dale, illustration.
Hey, my boy.
Well done. Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you, Tom.
You can be in Mr. Fisk's corner. Tom is saying these dragons are cool. Yes, these dragons are very cool and very big. I will attempt. There you go. That is my head, and that is a dragon. That is one incredible wings. And these dragons, we had this. So we were talking to Turbo Dog in the first kind of episode when we started painting these. These are really sharp. These are sharp dragons. You've got to be very careful how you handle these things. They're beasts. But yeah, I've stuck myself with its claws many times. And I have to be careful because I've got limited space under my light arch here, and I keep catching bits and pieces, and I'm gonna take an eye out soon. I think at some point.
It's all worth it to see the look on your players' faces when it hits the table.
I'm so impressed with them. The dragon.
Yeah, I mean it's again the blue dragon has a great pose because it's one of the only dragons which I think is sitting down. Well, sitting down so you can put it on a tabletop.
Yeah.
Most of the dragons they've done are always dragons in flight. That I've seen, and sometimes you just want your party when you're playing at a table with minis. You just want your party to walk into a cave and have to stand and look up at a dragon. And the blue dragon is beautiful for that. And of course, you can paint it any color. But like the dragon I've got here isn't blue; it's a bronze dragon. And each dragon has a different look, a different kind of bone structure. The blue dragon has that massive horn on the tip of its snout. Well, the bronze dragon I've got has these two kind of horns coming out from its eyes. So
Any colour so long as it's blue.
yeah, that's why I'm painting mine red, because I only have one other red dragon, but that is a Dragonlance dragon, so it has a saddle and armor already on it. That was also from WizKids, but that has a saddle and armor because they ride the dragons like you would ride a horse. Is that you, Mr. Fisk? You're getting serious there.
I'm always serious. Sound like a didgeridoo.
We've got an echo on that. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't. This will be my first proper full-sized adult red dragon, and it's also the biggest mini I have ever painted. Or
Yeah, definitely the same for me. Definitely the biggest thing I've ever tackled.
So Alan, we know that Alan does or has done armies and paints armies for his own hobby. Dave, what you do bits of everything, but do you do it to play Warhammer?
No, I never have. I have a lot of bits and bobs that I've collected over the years, so I probably have probably 1,000 points of well, a couple of thousand points of Eldar for 40k, and probably 1,000 points of Wood Elves, but not necessarily painted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I tried playing once back in the mists of time.
Yeah.
And it didn't gel with me.
We got a little bit of echo on there. I don't know which one that's coming from. I don't think it's you. I think it's it might be one of the phones picking up the echo. Sometimes it happens. And another question for Mr. Fisk. This goes back to D&D. What do you play homebrew or do you play the published titles?
We are because we use D&D Beyond for a lot for our games. We're strictly on book at the moment. There's a little bit of homebrew here and there, but we're mostly straight down the line. I think there's a lot of temptation to put some scary things in there, but I tend to. I'm one of those people who I tweak the names of my spells and that kind of thing just to make them fit the character. But beyond that, I'm not gonna try and break the game entirely.
Yep. Are you always the DM? Are you always the player?
So I was the DM for our Western one shot, but I'm a player the rest of the time. I just wanted to give our DM a few weeks off.
A break. Yeah. We mentioned it earlier, but I've just finished a 1.5 year Frost Maiden game, in-person table game. But I'm also running Dragonlance. I'm also running a few other games. Too many games at the moment. But last night we played at 6 p.m. till midnight, and the grand finale of Frost Maiden using the Beadling Grim Platinum Edition, and it was a lot of fun. We lost one player died, one player character died. just to clarify, by their own choice as well.
That's the best way.
Yeah, they didn't necessarily die heroically. They had succumbed to vampirism and decided they had a choice, and they chose the dark side. And they didn't last very long after that, but that was their choice. And they gave me a bottle of rum.
Oh,
as a thank
that's
you.
nice.
It was very nice. Got all emotional. And the next game to run is we're going to be playing Avernus actually. So we're going to be playing the Platinum Beadling Grim edition of Avernus in all its glory. What's the game you would like to play?
I think naturally I'm drawn towards Call of Cthulhu, that kind of thing. I quite like
I've still never played
the
it.
Eldritch horror stuff.
I've still never played Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, this sounds like an opportunity.
Yes, please do. I have the starter box, which we bought. I bought that dragon meat 3 or 4 years ago now, and yeah, just never got round to running the game.
But a friend of mine has the Blade Runner RPG.
Yeah.
And so we're sort of trying to set up a game of that for me to run, because I love a dystopia.
Yeah.
And that looks fun. Oh yeah?
Yeah, from Free League. Blade Runner game.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I love the mechanics of it, and yeah, a bit of duplicity is always fun in a TTRPG.
Well, if you can make it to Dragon Meat, we can introduce you to Free League.
Have you played Alien at all, David?
I haven't. No. That's another one that sounds super, super fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Only
Yeah,
Steve gets
I
to
love
kill
a bit
me.
I love bit of 1970s science fiction. That's where it's at.
I locked Dave in a cupboard with an alien and some eggs.
So you were talking about Call of Cthulhu. Alan,
Yeah.
I think the echo is coming from your phone. Actually, I think that might be your speaker on the phone. But
Hang
you
on.
mentioned when we did the interview with yourself. You mentioned a few pieces. So Alan makes props, and so you've already seen the Pathfinder compass, but I'm gonna let's put this up on the screen if I can. Boom. If you know Call of Cthulhu, Dave, then if you look at the screen, Alan also makes other props, but he's made props for Call of Cthulhu.
Huh. That's beautiful.
So you've got a series of books
Oh,
there,
wow.
and that is a real life size prop. Alan, do you want to kind of give the tour?
What you're looking at there is the augmented reality version of the real prop. So we did a real golden mirror from the Masks of Nyarlathotep, and we did an augmented reality version as well. And we did a full set of AR props for digital use, either on platforms or in person, for the Masks of Nyarlathotep campaign. And we also produced some of the physical props for the deluxe version of that set that the HP Lovecraft Historical Society did a few years ago, that they won Best Product for at Gen Con. So yeah, we've been doing Cthulhu. I've been making Call of Cthulhu props since I started playing Call of Cthulhu, because we all love props. But after we got the license with Chaosium, we started making them for their games as well. And yeah, I much like putting a dragon on the table. I love putting a prop in front of my Call of Cthulhu players.
Yeah, they look awesome.
If the time difference wasn't so severe, I would run a Call of Cthulhu game for you.
Go on, Steve.
I'll have to set one up at Games Expo.
We have done that,
Yeah.
haven't we? We took part in Jasper's Game Day in Oz.
Ah,
Yeah.
We just did it in the middle of our day.
But
I'd be happy. I'd be happy to run one for you. I've got. We wrote a set of 12 one-shots called Seeds of Terror, which are on Drive-Through Roleplay, and I'd be happy to run one for you.
You wrote it.
Yeah.
Wow. See, Steve, I'm just thinking that's part of our GM Creator series.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, Alan, we have another show, which is called the GM Creators. It's not officially called the GM Creator series. It's just something that's become that. But we've had the writers from Alien RPG who have taken us on a one-shot adventure, and that's like 3 or 4 episodes. Currently, we're with Midnight Tower, who are based in Oxford, here in the UK. And they write and publish their own 5e adventures in their own world. Always Kickstarters, but they've been really kind of picking up speed. We've had 2 guys in the States. We've had Northern Wildling, who's just released a cartoon book, their comic book. Well, it's a comic. Still is a collection of comic strips. It's not a comic as you would think of a comic.
Comic panels.
Comic panels, yeah. Who else have we done? Has Steve?
In terms of the creator series, we had the Lost Lights guys from
Lost
their
Lights,
Kickstarter. That was a Mayan, some Central American themed fantasy setting. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, they did a book that had both the Pathfinder and 5e D&D all in one volume, and it was big. It was huge. But yeah, I tell you what, we'd love to set it up. If it won't be until January, or at least the new year, but I would love to set it up. And if you're happy to run and teach some newbies how to play Call of Cthulhu, we can definitely set that up. And I tell you what, if Mr. Fisk, if you're available, we'll have you as a player as well.
We'll try and hook it up. That sounds great.
Cool. Okay, so that's 3 players. How many players do we need?
4.
Okay, we'll pick one. We'll find another one.
We don't need 4, but 4 is good.
Yeah, I can get 4 or more. I can get 4, 5, 6. I can get more.
No, let's just go 4.
Okay. Okay, right, that's done. I will be in touch, and we'll get something booked in. Yeah. Again, I've never played, but I'm always. It sounds so intriguing. And in fact,
Probably my favourite game.
there's a VR game on PlayStation, but it's on VR everywhere, which is The Room, and that is very kind of, to me, that's kind of called a Cthulhu-esque because it has a slight horror feel to it. And what books do I have? I have the books, which is a bit like The Thing. So Free League sent me these big illustration, they're A3 in size. These are illustrative storybooks. And it's the Call of Cthulhu story where it's an explorer group in the Arctic.
That'll be at the Mountains of Madness.
Yes, that's it, exactly. Beautiful books. Which is basically the thing, the story, the Thing. Or it reminds me of The Thing anyway.
Just listened to, there's a group in America who I'm friends with called the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society, and they produce radio shows based on Lovecraft's works.
Yeah.
Called the Dark Adventure Radio Theatre. And I've just listened to their version of the At the Mountains of Madness story. It's superb. So if you like Eldritch horror and Lovecraftian horror, but you also like listen to radio shows that are like dramatized versions of the stories, if you know what I mean. Yeah, check them out. Really good.
Okay, I'll do that then. Right, we're down to the last kind of 15-20 minutes, guys.
Are we supposed to have finished?
No.
we got another show.
Thank goodness.
we're back this time next week. But yeah, we are. So this time you'll have a blue dragon and a complete army.
Yeah. Yeah, I love this whole scheduled painting thing. It's a really good idea.
Well, the Great British Brush Off is, as everybody knows, is just a complete rip-off of the Great British Bake Off. And the story behind it is that Steve and Joe, who were both painting miniatures at that time. I think Steve had just got back into it. And they both said, yeah, we should do a show about miniature painting. And I was like, I have no interest in picking up another very expensive hobby. And I have no experience in doing it. I don't know what I'm doing. And then they kept on doing it. They kept on teasing me with it. And I was like, okay, right. And then one night I just woke up and I was like, I've got it. I know what I'm going to do. So it's obviously been in my unconscious brain somewhere, just festering. And my plan was that I would find pro painters to come on a show, paint with me live, and teach me how to paint. And then we would all get judged at the end of the show.
I'm going to go and get the dragon.
Yep. I loved it. Mr. Fisk, why did you get into miniature painting? You said it was it a group of friends, or was it just you on your own? You kind of intrigued by it all?
Yeah, I think my first experience was just somebody at my school had some miniatures, like some Warhammer stuff, and I was like, that looks interesting. So I went out, bought a copy of the magazine because it came with a free miniature on that one occasion, and I thought, oh, this is pretty great. Broke out some of my my dad's Humbrol enamel Airfix paints, and so technically my first ever painted miniature was non-metallic metal as well, because I just used Humbrol grey enamel all over the darn thing. But yeah, I was just kind of hooked, and I found it quite relaxing. I still do when it goes well. Not so much when you have deadlines or anything like that, but yeah, I just find it. I kind of enter my own little world, so it's quite interesting to have other people there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm so used to it being quite a solitary hobby.
Oh, I much so from doing this and talking to people who have got much more experience than I have, and then and we started doing the online stuff during lockdown and COVID and everything else. But now that the conventions are open again, me and Steve will go to the various shows, and it's great. You have painting tables there, and people you just grab a mini, rock up with some paints. It's usually in the UK. It's usually organised by Citadel,
right?
And it's such a good atmosphere. But like there are clubs and social groups. I mean, Band of Badgers is also a social club here in the UK. But we have the other clubs that I've met through Band of Badgers. There are people in pubs who will go to a pub on a Sunday afternoon, and they'll take a bucket of paint with them, and they'll paint minis, just as like you might play D&D in the pub. They'll just paint minis together and have a chat and have a drink and have dinner and stuff. So it is incredibly social.
I feel like this is opening my eyes to another world of painting.
Well, you definitely, because I know you're just down the road from me, but you definitely need to go to have a look at Dorking. Dorking have a fantastic, maybe it's just in the name, Dork, I don't know, but fantastic range of geeks and small communities. And there's a few pubs in Dorking that will set up tables for you, and you can just have a drink, buy their food, and play your games or paint the minis or whatever.
I find that kind of thing is getting sort of rarer and rarer, or at least they sort of start up and then don't take off. It's a tricky old biz.
Yeah,
so
I think you've got to be the one. If you want to be for it always to be there, I think you have to instigate it.
Yeah.
And I think that's again what we did with Band of Badgers. It was where we had access to the mansion house. It was right. What can we do here? Let's play D&D. Okay, so we did, That was great. Let's invite more people. And then you get 10, 12 people. It's like, oh, that's great. What should we do for food? Let's order pizza. And then a few months later, you've got 50 people and 10 pizzas. A few months after that, you've got 100 people and 50 pizzas. Right, we have about 10 minutes left. I'm quite surprised in how much progress I've made on this one actually, which is quite nice. And to my painters, I will say that if you do put kind of work in progress stuff up on Instagram, please do like and share. If you can include Band of Badgers and WizKids, that would be great.
Yeah, definitely. This is looking all right. I think that looks okay.
I think that looks awesome. I mean, that looks the closest thing to the artwork that comes on the box.
That's amazing.
And to have done that in 1 hour and 30 minutes is impressive. Really impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have you? I know you said you painted for competitions. Do they ever do like live competitions when they go? You're there in person, like this, but next, like a dozen people or so, and go right, ready, steady, paint.
No, but they certainly should.
Oh,
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see a Master Chef, but for mini painting. That'd be hilarious.
See, all I can picture in my head is when you see like the chili eating competitions, and there's 5 people up on the stage at a table, and they have to eat as many chilies as possible in like 30 minutes. Just all of you sat next to each other. All of you sat next to each other. Like 5 pro painters, and there you go. Paint that orc army.
there you go, Steve. We should take it on the road.
I think we should pimp that at Dragon Meat as an idea.
Yeah. The Great British Brush Off live competition. We get Mr. Fisk to judge. Have you ever judged?
You could do it at BadgerCon, right? I've never judged. I've never judged, but I'd love to try.
There you go. So we've got a judge. And we'll get you some chilies.
Perfect.
You can bring the gin.
I certainly can.
We got yeah, we could. I'm sure we could organise something. At BadgerCon, we are thinking for next year to do because we've got various. We can do various tents and stuff. Warrior Prince, who was on earlier, he does a pop-up shop, so he brings all the minis. He's a 3D printer, so he brings all the minis. He's also a pro painter. So that's our second judge. But we were going to have a mini painting tent. So that because we do a series of one-shots, so there's like 4 or 6 one-shots going on with different themes and genres. So you kind of pre-book what table you want to go in. But quite a lot of people said they like buying the minis from Richard, but it'd be nice if they could have some space to paint. So we're like, yeah, we'll set up a painting tent as well.
That sounds right up my alley.
do that. You could paint a hero. You could play the hero. Table ready. And do it as a competition. Okay, we're down to the last 5 minutes. We have Adam73 in chat. It says, hi from Australia.
Adam. I know Adam.
So what time is it in Australia right now?
Let me just check. 8:50 a.m.
There you go. So again, thank you very much for joining us first thing in the morning. Did you have your cornflakes? Did you get some
I
breakfast?
basically did, yes. I am due a second coffee, I can tell you that.
So because it's a Sunday morning, does your partner get a lay in?
She's off out already.
Early bird, yeah.
Yeah, next thing is second coffee, and then gonna get ready for tonight's Cthulhu game.
Cool. How much time do you kind of are you a GM who likes to prep a lot, or
Yeah.
do you kind of? I enjoy prepping. I spend a lot of time prepping, more time than I should really, but I enjoy it. I enjoy thinking about scenarios and problems and creating puzzles and things.
Yeah, me too. I really enjoy that side of things.
I buy, Steve knows this, but I buy an insane amount of adventures as well. And I've never played any of them really. It's just I like reading adventure stories, the campaign adventures, and just imagining what my players might do. And when you finally get down to play, it takes so long to play a game. A D&D game can take over a year. I mean, Frost Maiden's just taken a year and a half. Before that, we were doing Saltmarsh. And with 5e being so popular, I think they've obviously cashed in on that. But you can't play the games as quick as they're coming out.
No.
And it's the same with computer games as well. You can't. If you're playing Assassin's Creed, it's so big. 2 more games have come out, and you're still playing the one you're playing. So
We live in a very content-rich world, don't we?
Yes, it's a bit too much at times. Adam says he's excited. So he's in your game, is he? He's excited for the Cosmic Horror.
One of our regulars, a good friend, one of our Warhammer buddies as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Adam's
When you
been
said
around
earlier
to
that one of your players died in that campaign, and you quickly changed that to one of the player characters.
Player characters, yeah.
Yeah. When we say one of our players went insane during Cthulhu, we don't change that to one of the player characters. Yeah.
Nice, good. Well, I'm going to put my brush down now. I've done plenty of red. And I still have some left, which I was quite surprised about. And all by hand, by brush. So I will show you that in a second. Steve's is looking very good there. He got some yellow wings there, leathery wings. Have you been doing wet blending on that, Steve?
Yep, I have. Yeah, it's okay. I might need to do some dry brushing on it. Let's put it that way.
Okay. We're just gonna sit here now and watch Mr. Fisk put his finishing touches on there. He's got 1 minute. It does. I mean, the fact we saw it.
It was just flat black, an hour and a half.
Yeah. And this is what I love about this show, is because painting around the table with people is great. You can have a chit chat. We're looking at progress. You pick up some tips, golden nuggets here and there. But to see what everyone's done in this small amount of time is incredible. And Mr. Fisk, you are now out of time.
Hands down.
It looks incredible. Right, we'll let that
I
dry.
just give
for
that a round of
second.
applause.
Yeah, that is
smashing.
incredible. If you notice, he's actually done his sleeves up as well. He's rolled
Oh,
them
yeah.
up. He got really serious. There was a top button.
Didn't come to
Sleeves
play.
up. Yeah. Right. Let's start with Australia, because you're already into tomorrow. Let's keep you going.
Yeah, we're already there. So
I'll
We've
put
got
it
the-
onto your. Which one do you want to go to? Okay.
there we go. We've got this one. So we've got the wings done, basically. It's come out okay. It's not as good as I'd hoped, but that doesn't mean that we can't do something next week with it. I'm hoping that once it cures, I can get the next funny crackly paint on the bottom to give that a go.
But
I'm
look
pretty
at the
happy with the base.
wingspan on that. That is brilliant.
That's a brilliant base.
Base looks great. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with how quickly you put that together.
I'm excited to get some paint down on the rest of it next week.
Yeah. Yeah. No, just to remind everyone, we are back this time next week as well. Not this time. We'll finish it this time. 2 hours before this, 9 p.m. UK time. We will be back next week. We're going to continue. I don't think we'll finish, but we're going to continue. Steve, over to you.
Yeah. So I put blue on the fingers, ridges, whatever you want to call them, the skin parts, and then in the stretched areas I started off with Zealot yellow speed paint, mix in some Crusader skin, and then put some blood red around the edges, and then just sort of blended it together. So I think, though, I've gone too dark on a lot of it, and not enough highlights. I might have to dry brush some more
I think the
highlights on.
scary stuff on that, Steve, is it doesn't look like a wing. It looks like one of those like membranes.
That's
You're
what
gonna
I was
wrap it
going
around
for.
someone, and
Yeah.
yeah.
That was the idea. Is I wanted to go for a membrane, so it was stretched taut, slightly see through.
Slightly scary.
So that's why I put the blood red on, was because I wanted to give it some sort of blood flowing through it. But it's come out a bit dark.
Adam says, "Is that a metallic blue?"
On the metallic blue on there, yeah, that's metallic blue. That's the Turbo Dog that we did last
so
week.
These are
It's
the
not
adult
focused.
blue dragons from WizKids. You don't have to. Well, I haven't painted my blue. But cool. Thank you very much, Steve. Mr. Fisk, over to you.
Cool. So I started off with a mix of hexed lichen and turquoise, and just added a bit more turquoise to it to push it up to blue. But the whole kind of violet vibe keeps it nice and cool, and will contrast nicely with the colors I'm going to add over the top, so I can get warmer with my highlights. The wings are just cavalry brown,
Yeah.
then medium flesh, and then sunny skin tone. And I just sort of dappled that on for the wings to give you the idea of sort of varied translucency. And then I'll just go in afterwards and add all of my contrast back, just fine contrast in the gaps, because that's what the airbrush tends to do, just kill a bit of that contrast. But yeah, pretty happy with it so far. Lots more to do, but it's a good start.
It's amazing.
How are you gonna? Sorry, I was just gonna say, how are you gonna put the contrast back? Are you gonna wash it or?
So probably start with the airbrush, just with broader shading.
Yeah.
And then literally just go in with a brush and get in the fine areas. I was thinking about using oils, but it just gets too messy. I'll probably just go in with contrast paints or speed paints or what have you, and really get into the recesses and get those darkened down a bit. And then the fun stage of highlighting everything by hand with a very small brush, which is my favorite bit. But,
it looks incredible. I mean, the muscle tone on that figure as well.
I mean, that's all the sculpt.
Wow.
The sculpt is doing most of the work there. Yeah, it's such a fun sculpt. Such a gorgeous mini.
So when you finished this, like, it's not a mini, it's a maxi, whatever this thing is. When you finish with this, is this going to end up on one of your gaming tables?
Quite possibly, yeah. We always have a need for these sorts of things, and yeah, we always need big monster minis on the table, and we are playing a game at the moment that has a dragon that my wife is running that game, and there's a dragon scaring us at the moment. So this would probably fit the bill to some extent.
Fantastic. Right, I'm going to move my camera out for a little bit, and I'll see if I can make this a little bigger. So, yeah, by hand, by brush, I've painted. This is a bronze dragon, which I'm painting as a red dragon because this is a flying dragon, or a pose like it's going to attack on someone, which I love. But yeah, I managed to get all the wings done. Well, most of the wings. I missed a bit there.
I love the way the wings run all the way down the back there.
Yeah, all the way down. And I'm going to do the spine. So the reason this is black is because I'm using the Turbo Dog shifter paints on the chest to bring in like a golden sheen, like it's got its own armor, just for the dragon scales. But yeah, it's predominantly just going to be a red dragon all over. Now these wings have some battle scarring, which I haven't played with yet, but I will do. You can see like the rips and tears that are going on. So I'm going to play with that next session. So next session is the plan to finish the body. I'll get the dragon scales done. And I just love, let's get the head. I mean, he is a mean looking dragon. So yeah, I'm loving this. Easily the biggest mini. I mean, look. Easily the biggest mini I've ever painted, but it looks amazing. Beautiful shade of red. I'm using speed paints all around, so it's already doing the definition for me. Looking great. Very impressed.
Wingy bits more translucent looking.
There we go. Right. How are we doing there, guys? All good? Happy with that?
Super.
Very impressed.
Okay.
Really impressed.
If we had to, so here's Steve knows about this, but if we had to give a gold star, who would you vote for? This is also open up to anyone who, if you're quick, anyone who is watching live. Shout out your votes. Do it now. You got 10 seconds. Dragon Skull says all the dragons looking amazing, but you have to shout out. There we go. We got Mr. Fisk has scored 2 stars there. But we'll keep those and we'll bring those up in the next session. You don't get anything for gold stars. It's just for kudos points, and it's something fun to do.
I think David should be able to spend his 2 stars next week on something like we have to start 5 minutes later or something.
Yeah.
Ooh. Penalty points. Love it. Dragon Scroll Studio says also David Fisk. There you go.
Oh, another vote. Nice.
Yeah, another vote. Yeah, he's taking the lead. Here we go. Who else we got? Adam, progress shots look great. We'll be okay to see the finished figures. Yes. We'll be okay to see the finished figures.
It's very understated, that, isn't it? I'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be all right. Right, that's it, folks. That's the end of our inane chit chat. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed watching paint dry as much as we have, and we will be back in 2 weeks' time. But remember, you can find Alan
2 weeks or 1 week.
1 week next Saturday.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said 2 weeks.
I'm always saying 2 weeks. It's next week. It's next week. I promise. You can find Alan at type40.com in Australia. You can also find Mr. Fisk at instagram.com/dragonsanddraygins. And all of the minis that you saw today, you can find at shop.wizkids.com. It's 50, sometimes 60% off right now. Black Friday deals. If you're watching this in December or 2024, it's too late. If you're watching this in November 2023, go save yourself a big heap of money. You can buy yourself some dragons. You need them because they are amazing. But other than that, it's time to go. Are we good? Steve's just yeah. Just keep letting me talk.
I was going to type in WizKids.shop.wizkids.com to go and put the link into chat. And then I remembered if I touch the keyboard, all sorts of things are going to happen in StreamYard. So I've decided to leave it alone. I'll just sit here with my hands up, so it's not me if anything happens.
Right, in the next slide, we will. Right, guys, don't go anywhere. Don't push any buttons. I'll come and chat to you in a sec. For those of you joining us live, thank you very much. For those of you on YouTube, thank you very much. Any questions to any of the pro painters, put them in the comments below, and I will get you those answers to those questions. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, like, share, friends, subscribe, and tell everyone. Tell your pets. If you've got pets, tell them. They might have their own YouTube account. I have no idea. I'm just rambling on. We'll see you next time. Bye.